jump right in here with Sonic Advance, and I don't know how long I'm going to play it, because I could probably play this whole game and beat it in like 40 minutes, but I don't know if I want to spend that long on it. Listen to that 16-bit ring sound. This takes me back, because when this game first came out, like, this was I mean, it still is a really good game, but it hasn't aged the best, but when it first came out, this was a really good Sonic game. Basically, it's like the follow-up to the Sega Genesis games, and it was portable, obviously, so you can imagine I had some good fun with this one. And I liked how they put, like, their Sonic Adventure moves in it. Like, it just kind of, it worked really well, I thought. But, you know, obviously I'm going to be a little bit biased toward the Sonic games. Like, even the graphics for Knuckles and everything. So, you know what? Since in the interest of doing, you know, this interactive format, there's no point in me just playing the game by myself, so why don't we play the game, and, you know, you guys can pick a character for me, you can pick a stage for me, so I can play as any of the 4 playable characters: Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy. I just realized it kind of kills the point of me doing Blue, but I don't care. If you guys want me to play as Amy, I'll play as Amy. Like, I'll play as anybody. So, otherwise, it's just going to be me playing a game by myself. Which is not what I came here to do. Well, I am leaning towards Sonic, but I like them all. They all have their moves and stuff. So, it's 4 viewers. Someone's got to have an opinion. I guess they don't have to, but that's what I was thinking. Alright, Sonic, going once, going twice. Sold to the man in the Sega shirt. Alright, so, same thing. I believe I have all the levels unlocked. I should, including the extra zone. So, what level or levels do we want to see me play, starting from Zone 1, Act 1, all the way down? There's like 7 levels in this game, or 6. So I can start at any of them. I'm trying to remember the names of them. I know that's Neo Green Hill Zone, Hidden Base, God, I want to say Casino Paradise, Ice Mountain, Angel Island, surprisingly enough, Egg Rocket, Cosmic Angel, Final Zone. That's what I figured with the bosses in Mega Man, because, yeah, I don't know. I'm not that good with the different abilities. I'm just, like, sitting there trying to avoid all the freaking missiles, and Mega Man's moves are so, like, stiff, at least in every game I've played. Like, the bosses and the enemies have, like, such fluid motion, and Mega Man just goes from left to right so slowly, and just, like, slides at, like, 1 mile an hour, and I'm like, how am I supposed to beat all these things when my enemies can move so much faster than I can? But there won't be a problem with speed in this one. How about we start with Zone 1, man? Buddy Octi, I gotta tell you, man, you are a daredevil. You are just blowing away expectations. This brings me back in a good way. Like, I love this. Music's nice and chill. On the beach here. It's kind of your basic first Sonic level, but not really, because we got the beach, which also kind of reminds me of Emerald Coast from Sonic Adventure. They even start you with 3 lives, just like the old Sonic games. But you'll notice little touches, like, obviously he looks like Sonic Adventure Sonic. Some of the item boxes are styled after that model of Sonic. Wow, I'm just blazing here. Whew! How's that for blast processing? This was after Sega had stopped making consoles. This was 2002. This was, I think, this actually wasn't the first Sonic game to be on a non-Sega console, believe it or not. That would be Sonic Pocket Adventure, which came out on the Neo Geo Pocket before the Dreamcast came out. I want to say it was like 98 that game came out. And that was the first Sonic game, and much like this, it was Sonic Adventure styled, but had the old levels in it. This was more of an original game, though. Sonic Pocket had a lot of, like, remixes from the Sonic 1 and 2 games. Still a really good game. Actually, that's pretty much the only reason I have a Neo Geo Pocket, was to play that game. Which, it's a good game. I have no way to stream it as far as I know, otherwise I would. But it's got a pretty cool art style. This game is obviously a little bit better, because it came out later. Sonic Advance 2 and 3 are also really good. God, I used to play the heck out of all of them. Sonic Advance 3, I actually think, is the best one. Sonic Advance 3 was, like, really underrated in my opinion. Like, it just kind of came out, nobody knew about it because it was like at the end of the Game Boy Advance lifespan. But I thought it was the best one. Like, they really improved on everything. But this one I really like just because it's basic. Like, it's actually, like, it doesn't do anything too crazy, but it's also just a solid game. Like I said, it can be beaten in, like, maybe 30, 40 minutes, but there's still enough content in there, like collecting the Chaos Emeralds and all that. I used to, like, memorize these levels. It's been a little while now. The Sonic Advance games are great. Sonic Advance 2 is a little bit... It's probably the weakest of the three, but it also has some really creative ideas, so I can't fault it too much. Whereas this game plays it safe. Sonic Advance 2 has, like, a music level. It's got some, like, really crazy locations. My one thing with Sonic Advance 2 is the controls are a little bit... They're a little harder to get used to, because the game is purposely very fast. Like, they added, like, kind of this super boost feature, but it's pretty good. Sonic Rush I really like, but that's one I also feel is overrated. Like, everybody loves Sonic Rush, but to me, actually, that's a good example, because Sonic Rush is basically like Sonic Advance 2 on steroids. Because Sonic Advance 2 had that whole super speed gimmick that Sonic Rush is pretty much just all about that, as the name would imply. Sonic Rush is just like hyper boost to the max. As Robotnik just falls on me with his tractor. Hammer time. Now, Sonic Rush is a fun game, but actually the difficulty's pretty balanced. It's not, like, super easy, but it's also, I don't know, it's just, it gets old after a while, Sonic Rush. Like, it's got some good gimmicks, but after you've played it so many times, it's just kind of like, they make good use of the DS dual screens, which is why I can't stream it, because I don't know how to stream a DS, but I always love this opening. Like, very secret agent-y. But no, Sonic Rush is fun. I actually prefer Sonic Rush Adventure, which is the sequel. That I always prefer the ones no one else likes. Like, I don't know, to me they put more thought into Sonic Rush Adventure. It's a little more creative. It's not as much of the high-speed stuff. There's actually some good level design in there, good bosses. The bosses were really weak in Sonic Rush, except for, like, the final couple bosses. They really were just kind of like, eh. Sonic Rivals, oof. I have that game. I don't have Rivals 2. Sonic Rivals to me was not that good, if I'm being honest. It's basically a 2D Sonic R. Like, you're just running from left to right. I don't really get the point of it. It's very short. It's not really that fun. I don't even remember the story. If I don't remember the game, that's probably not a good sign. Because I remember, like, every Sonic game. But Sonic Rivals, I just feel very, very average about. Like, I would prefer a game like this, where they just stick to the formula, even though it's a little bit basic. At least it's fun. Sonic Rivals, I don't know what they were doing. Like, if you're gonna make a racing game, make a racing game, but it's not even that. It's like a one-on-one racing game that's also a weird platformer. It doesn't feel like a Sonic game. Just really my complaint about a lot of the titles that are lackluster. I see the view counter is, you know, fiddling around between 3 or 4 viewers, which would make this one of the higher viewed episodes. I mean, you can try them. Like, they're not completely terrible. Like, the characters are fine. You got Sonic and Knuckles and Shadow. I think the second one has a little more to it. I never played the second one, but the first one is just okay, in my opinion. Some of the unlockables are kind of cool. It's almost like Sonic Heroes. Like, it has that art style, but I don't know. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. But, yeah, they do look cool, and the music's pretty good. They're also short, though. I think there's only, like, 5 different courses or whatever. Maybe a couple extras you can find, but, like, it's basically just, like, you race Shadow, you race Metal Sonic, you race a couple other people, like, the game's over. Like, I don't even remember the plot. It actually might not have been a bad game if they got rid of that racing thing and just made it, like, a 2D game with 3D graphics, because the course layouts aren't terrible, but the fact that you have to race everybody means if you hit, like, one obstacle, you lose, because the other characters are always perfect. Or close to perfect. Like, by the time you get to level 3, you pretty much can't make a mistake. And they're not hard courses, but if you hit, like, one spike, you're gonna lose the stupid race. DS version... Oh, I know what you're talking about. The DS version of Sonic Colors is actually really good, I think. I don't prefer it to the Wii version, just because the Wii version is really good, but... Like, actually, Sonic Colors for DS may as well be Sonic Rush 3, because it follows the same principle as those games. That might be the best DS one. You took a shower? Well, nice of you to let me know. Yeah, we were actually, Spido Octi and I were having a pretty in-depth discussion on different Sonic games. Now, if you're asking about Sonic Generations on 3DS, the game was not that good, if I'm being completely honest. I don't know if you've played it or you're just asking me out of curiosity. But, yeah, I love Sonic Generations as a game, but on the 3DS, it's okay. Like, it almost reminds me of Sonic Rivals, like it's just there. The levels they picked for it were not very good, because they're different levels than the Xbox version. They're completely different. Some of them aren't bad, but just, I don't know, it just wasn't fun. Like, the way it plays is weird. Like, it's not a Sonic Rush type of game, but it's also not a traditional game. Classic Sonic and modern Sonic feel almost the same, so I don't see the point, because they're all 2D. There's no 3D parts of the 3DS version, which I know is weird to say. The bosses are kind of 3D. Yeah, if you like Sonic Generations on 360 or whatever console you have it on, I would just stick with that, because the 3DS one I was hoping would be something different, and it is, but it's not anything great. Of course I have it, because I have to have it, because I have every Sonic game, but it's almost like this reluctant obligation to buy them all. Like, alright, they came out with another one, I better buy it. So I buy it. Yeah, Kurt, you missed some good stuff. I had a feeling they'll be differentiating when they... Yeah, well, the only difference between Classic Sonic and Modern Sonic in Generations 3DS is that, obviously, Modern Sonic has the boost, and the levels are maybe a little longer, but really, other than that, there's not much. I think Classic Sonic can even do the homing attack on some levels, so... I don't know. Just picture Sonic Forces, actually. It's kind of like that. It's just really short levels that don't go anywhere. I always love this level. I might just play this level, and then maybe I'll switch games again, because this is about the halfway mark of the game, unless you wanted me to keep going after this, with this game. I always love this music. But yeah, Kurt, it's a pretty safe bet that almost every stream of mine is going to get Sonic in there somehow, whether in mention or in actually playing it. I try not to be too repetitive, because I have a pretty big library to draw from. I probably have over 100 classic games across different platforms. While I could just do an entire show on the Sonic games, I try to only do one, if that. And actually, the last couple episodes haven't really had any Sonic. And we're going fast. And I got hit with spikes. Let's see, the speed shoes I feel are more, like, painful than useful. The only thing about this casino level is I don't think there's a slot machine like in the other ones. Just I can't enjoy the music when they speed it up like that. Now, Sonic Advance 2 is really good. It's really hard compared to this game, because you're used to this game, and Sonic Advance 2, there's a bit of a learning curve. They did give the characters more moves, though, and you can do tricks. The really hard part about that game, though, is finding the Chaos Emeralds, because it's just annoying. Actually, both Sonic Advance 2 and 3 have a very terrible system to get to the special stage. I'm really glad that system did not return. Sonic Advance 2, you have to collect, like, 7 medals throughout the level to unlock the special zone. Yeah, you know, not as much as usual, though, with the casino levels. I was a little disappointed that Sonic Generations didn't have a casino level specifically. Well, that's not true. Actually, the 3DS version does use Casino Night and butchers it. But, yeah, casino levels are fun if they're done well, which I think this one was, but the one in Forces was just bleh. Like, I don't know what they were doing there. Cool idea, but didn't really do much for me. Yeah, down to 2 viewers. Sonic always has to have a casino level. You say that like it's a bad thing, like, let's get this casino level over with. See, I like that, though, like, because every game has its things they do, like, you always have to have a lava level and a frozen level and all that, but, like, Sonic's the one platformer where it's like a casino level. Like, what's that doing in there? That's, like, something that's so Sonic, like, ever since the beginning. He's had, like, these really glitzy, glammy stages in there. Yeah, Casino Forest was not... It was a good idea, but it was just rushed, just like everything else in the game. Like, it could have been a really cool level with a lot of different stuff, but it's like, what, a minute and a half long with, like, 2 slot machines? You know they just recycled those slot machines from, like, Sonic Colors or something. Actually, no, Sonic Colors doesn't have slot machines, but You know what I'm saying. If we're gonna talk Sonic, I mean, that's my wheelhouse. I know everything. Well, maybe not everything, but... See, I like the more pinball-styled ones, which this one has a couple of flippers, but... I like the ones that really use the flippers and the bumpers to good effect, because that's kind of the creative use of Sonic, is that he can be a ball, so you can also literally make him into a pinball. See, I'm tired of Green Hills. I don't care what game it is. I don't like the Green Hill levels. Even the name is generic. It's a Green Hill. Like, of course it's green. It's grass. Like, make it like Blue Hill or something. Like, what the hell? I've been playing Green Hill for 30 years now. There's trees. It's green. Like, it wasn't even creative the first time. It wasn't like, man, we really stumbled upon a gem here of an idea. Let's make a Green Hill. No, let's re-release it 17 times. That'll really get it. Heck, even the chemical plant I'm getting sick of it. I used to love the chemical plant. The chemical plant's right in there. It's been re-released like 4 or 5 times now. Casino level at least hasn't been done to death yet, but it will. It's not that they can't think of new ideas, because Sonic Advance 3 had some really good original ideas, like the toy world and some of the other worlds. But, yeah. This game pretty much, you know, standard fare, but it's still really good. This boss I always kind of liked. Almost reminds me of the final fight from Sonic 1. It's a bit of a different premise, where you have to kind of guess where he's going to come out of, and just, yeah, some of it's luck, obviously, like a real casino. Ah, there's no way to dodge that, was there? I always found this theme for Robotnik kind of weird. It's like a Star Wars song. It's like, am I fighting Darth Vader or Robotnik? That's gonna hurt. I was like, the Death Star just hit me. Jeez, I keep getting that one. That was just kind of luck. Yeah, Sonic Forces, yeah, they turn part of it into a desert. Like, they'll be like, oh, it's Green Hill, but we threw some sand in there. Like, okay. Like, whatever.